What if peace wasn't something distant, but something we practice together? Presented by New Thought Media Network, this is the Peace Dialogues with Reverend Christy Semple. Hear from today's peace influencers. Discover new perspectives on growing peace. Explore practical spirituality you can live every day. Because peace isn't just an idea, it's a way of being. Find out how you can become a peace influencer too. The Peace Dialogues with Reverend Christy Semple. Thursdays at 9 a.m. Mountain Time. Only on New Thought Media Network. And now, here's Rev Christy.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening from wherever you are joining us, and welcome. Welcome to Peace Dialogues, where we inspire new awareness that the garden of peace is growing in our world, and the seeds of peace are being planted and nurtured by people just like you and me every day through practical spirituality in real life. And today and each week, we hear from a peace influencer who's involved in activities that are inspiring peace in our world every day. And we'll learn a whole new perspective on what it really means to grow peace and how we can be peace influencers too. And I'm your host, Reverend Christy Semple, a fellow gardener with you in the garden of peace in our world. And we're going to have a peace dialogue here today that will open us up to have new eyes to see that peace really is happening right here and right now. And so I'm so pleased and excited for our episode today to welcome Reverend Lauren Martin. So I'll ask all who are watching now or at any other time, welcome Reverend Lauren Martin. And Reverend Lauren is a minister, a CSL minister, graduating from the School of Leadership, the Holmes Institute in the School of CSL School of Leadership. And Reverend Lauren, there are a number of things that she does that are going to enrich our conversation here today, and that she brings forth into the world here. She works with the Education Department with Centers for Spiritual Living through creating monthly guides for the spiritual living circles. If you're part of one of those, or if you've heard of those, Reverend Lauren creates those guides and supports the circle leaders in training and development. And so helping to bring the science of mind out to the world in that way. And she's also the chairperson of the Global Heart of Peace Initiative, and I know her from that. And I'm grateful for Lauren's insight and her wisdom and insight. And she's done a number of peace party episodes. You can find that on New Thought Media Network as well, talking about different facets of peace, which we'll be talking more about, and different ways of nurturing peace that we might not have been aware of or thought of before. And so that's going to lead us into the conversation here, or the dialogue here today, about new awareness about peace, the different facets of it, a different perspective of peace. So I'll invite Lauren to start us off with that. Peace is so vast, right? And so big, but we want it to be understandable and doable to feel that. And so I'll let you take it from there, because I know you've got lots of insight about that.
Yeah, I do. Thank you. So one of the main things that we have been trying to do with the Global Heart of Peace is to remind people that peace is not boring. It's very easy for us to look at peace and think about, I just have to go sit, be quiet, peace is going to come to me. And I think it's a lot has to do with, it's very similar to love. And a lot of the different kind of ideas and things that we have in CSL where they're really big, and it's hard to put a label on them or understand them, especially for people who haven't felt it themselves. There's a lot of people out there who have the monkey mind or have a feeling that sitting down to meditate is the worst form of torture they could ever do to themselves, because they can't find that quiet. They can't find that peace. And so I am very passionate about encouraging people to expand what they call spiritual practice and find it in places that they may not think to expect it. I have some of my biggest breakthroughs doing that. So, not great things, but like binge watching TV shows, movies, reading books, a lot of those things that are not spiritual books, but they're just like fiction books. You get a lot of interesting breakthroughs there when you're open because you're finally calm enough to get them. And that's one of the main benefits of finding that inner peace, besides the fact that it trickles out into the world. But I also am one of those people who will be the first to tell you that sometimes to get to that peace, you have to rage first. So I use heavy metal concerts and I go and scream my head off and dance it all out. And then I can get to the point where peace can come in. So the whole idea around that trickles out into Global Heart of Peace is that we're trying to get people to expand on that, expand on different ways that they find peace, where they find peace. That's what we're doing with our Peace Party podcast.
Mm-hmm.
We have a bunch of different people come on and talk about different ways that they get to peace. I did one on heavy metal, and I did one on loving those we love to hate, because we can't be at peace when we're in hate. We can't be at peace when we don't understand empathy. We can't be at peace when we're holding on to grudges. And so that brings us to whole different areas of topics we can go to. So I'll let Christy pick where she wants to go next.
Oh, no, I'm so glad that you're saying that, because that's a key point here, is making room for it. If there's all kinds of things in there, so letting out, and how, as you said, with books and music, it opens up avenues, because if that's something we enjoy reading. I mean, it's amazing how you can open things up. A little snippet from a book that's what you would think would be completely unrelated, but it can open something up. And that's what we want. We want to open us up, that space for peace. And then about that heavy metal music, there's energy there, and that release and making room for that. Oh, I love that. And as you said in the different Peace Party episodes, how these facets, we have different people, yourself, myself, and others. We had one where Reverend Sherry Gannan talked about breaking bread. Do you know it's, tell us more about because those were very interesting episodes where you talked about with the music, and also with loving those we love to hate, because there's a key there for peace.
So the first one with the music, a lot of people are like me, who, when they were younger, they didn't have a voice. Their emotions were not really understood or by them or other people. So rock, metal, all that kind of stuff, it gives a voice. So when I was angry, I would just go listen to something that would let me scream, because I couldn't say those words. I couldn't articulate what I was feeling, but the energy could move through me and move out, and then I could find some calm, and I could actually get some clarity. And I think a lot of people, at that point, I didn't realize that I'm neurospicy, so my brain doesn't necessarily do the calm down, sit still well. And so I need to be able to move the emotions before I can get to the logic. So I literally have a sticker on my wall right now that says, "I will get over it. I just need to panic first." And that is literally me. And there's a lot of people out there like that. But the whole idea behind the one I did on music is I want people to realize that it doesn't matter your pathway. It doesn't matter how you get there. If you need to go to the gym and punch a punching bag for an hour to get to the peace, do it. Because it doesn't matter what anybody thinks about your process to get there. Whatever can quiet your mind and get you to the point where you can tap into your authentic self is where you're going to find the peace. So that's the other part that's really important is I don't think peace is totally in the head. I think we find peace when we align our head, our heart, and our soul. So that's a lot more active than just sitting and contemplating our thoughts. That's really aligning and integrating. And that takes
Mhm.
a lot more skill and energy. And then on the
Oh, good.
did you want to ask something? Sorry.
Oh, no, I'm just saying good. These are really good points that you're making.
And then on the point around the loving those we love to hate. So this is something that is really a strong passion of mine, because there are a lot of people who throughout my life I have loved, but I haven't liked. And that holds a lot of energetic around it, and a lot of the guilt and the shame and the blame. I was raised Catholic, so guilt, shame, blame, all of that are like ingrained in me, whether I want it to or not, through culture. So I'm working to reframe those and heal those. Um, and part of how I'm doing that is I am realizing that we need to see the people that are frustrating us or irritating us, or even people who are out of our general circle who are triggering us, as both divine and human.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's a struggle, because um, we look at these people and we're like, oh, you're doing these bad things, or you're doing these things I don't like. You must be bad, because that's easy. It's an easy correlation.
Mm-hmm.
Yet every single person who is on this planet right now is on here for a reason. If we did not have a reason to be here, we wouldn't be here. So that means that all those people who are frustrating or triggering or we don't like, they have just as much valid reason to be here. And it's really important not to give them our power. When we are letting them trigger us, when we're letting them, when we are allowing hate to be felt towards them, when we are allowing their actions to overtake us, we are allowing for us to lose our power. And the thing is, I want to give a little bit of background here so that you understand I'm not coming from a point of view of somebody who is never been through anything and just selling like a pipe dream here.
Mm-hmm.
I am a domestic violence survivor, so this was important to my healing.
Mm-hmm. Oh, powerful.
I had to move from, so one of the things that was really hard for me in practitioner training is they were talking a lot about change your thinking, change your life, and healing being revealing. And I was thinking a lot about the idea of responsibility and shame and blame. And I was thinking about how we can move from shame to blame to responsibility by realizing that we do the best we can with what we have. And a lot of people think that means money, or with knowledge, or it's all of your resources. So if you are exhausted, if you're in survival mode, if you are drained, if you're being abused, you don't have the capacity to make different decisions than what is right in front of you sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
So you can't just walk up and leave. But when you do leave, you need to let go of those feelings. You need to let those people just be who they are as part of your journey for yourself. So when you are seeing the humanity and the God in others, you're doing that for your healing. You're not doing that for them. They don't care. It's not about them. It is about how to get your own inner peace, because the more we get people to get their own inner peace, the more the world is going to be at peace. It cannot start with the entire globe trying to come together and be at peace, because that's outward in. It doesn't work well that way.
So good.
But what we need to do is we need to get to the point where we say, my peace is more valuable than your opinion of me. My peace is more valuable than what you did to me. My peace is more valuable than what you're doing in this world, because none of us are going to be able to change the minds of these people who are doing the crappy things right now. We just,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
if somebody could, it would have happened.
You're right. Right.
We
Oh,
need to
that's.
look at what they're here for, because right now, this world, and I know I'm going like everywhere, but it'll make sense. Um, this world is in a state of really begging to be woken up. And I don't mean woke culture.
All right.
What I mean is, we have had so many things that have happened in the last 5, 10 years that are telling us it's time to spiral up as a society to our
Mm-hmm.
next level of consciousness. Yet
Mm-hmm.
we are allowing social media, we are allowing the triggers, we are allowing the fears and the control from other places to bring us down. So we're at choice right now. And one of the
Mm-hmm.
choices we can do is see the humanity and the God in others. And this is hard practice.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Mm-hmm.
I always suggest to people, I tried with somebody who was really, really difficult to start with, but that's because the person in my life that I wanted to do was equivalent level of difficulty.
Mm-hmm.
But I suggest taking somebody who might just be like a mild irritant to you. Like for me, Taylor Swift, just because like I don't like her music. It's like grating, and there's something about her that's grating. So seeing her, the God in her,
Mm-hmm.
and seeing the humanity in her
Mm-hmm.
makes it a lot easier, because
Mm-hmm.
there's nothing wrong with her. It's fine that she's doing what she's doing, but like I could sit there and be like, "Oh, she's so annoying. I don't like her," and then let that bring me down. Instead
Right.
of, well, you know what? There's a God showing up in her, and then there's the um the humanity with her errors and things that she does that are irritating. Those are her human side. We're all allowed those.
Mm-hmm.
We're all allowed all of those things. And so when we can look at somebody and be like, you know what? That person looks like they have never been loved. They don't know how to ask for love,
Yes.
and they're acting out as a child. This is about the person that I actually started this process down. Um, then you can look at their actions and be like, okay, they're coming from the point of view of disconnecting from spirit. They're coming from
Mm-hmm.
the point of view of they don't remember their God. So that's
Mm-hmm.
our job to remember for them. And then on
Mm-hmm.
top of that, they're coming from the point of view of they really badly need a hug, and they don't know how to ask for it. Like it's a child throwing a tantrum. And then
Mm-hmm.
all of a sudden you're like, oh, okay. I don't need to be attached to that anymore.
Mm-hmm.
I can let that go.
Mm-hmm.
And there's
Oh.
the
Mm-hmm.
in the
Oh.
letting.
Oh, that's so wise what you are saying. It is so wise to not get pulled into that same feeling and frustration, because it's not allowing for that peace to shine through. It is recognizing what is always present everywhere. And those are really practical, real life examples. And you're making good points that this is calling. What is happening is calling for this to come forth. And again, you're not talking about nary fairy, or you're talking about life, and how we see ourselves and how we see others, and how to practice this each day. And it is about what we are feeding, if you will.
Yeah.
Feeding. And this is so wise and so good. And you're speaking about this from a real life experiences, and the experiences that you have had and what you learned, and it reminds us that everyone can be part of peace. Everyone. If someone said, "Oh, I've had these very challenging experiences, I don't think that I can be part of peace," but we can. It's so helpful to know that everybody can.
Yeah, and it's one of those things where it's not easy. Like, I can say this because I've been practicing it for years, but it's not always easy. So this is why I always also suggest to people, feel your emotions first. If you need to go lock yourself up for a few days and like cry and scream and yell and throw a fit, do it. Because when we are holding those things in, we can't be at peace. Because what's going to happen is, if you don't feel your emotions, they will come out sideways in ways you don't do, in ways you don't control. And that's not peaceful at all for anybody.
No. That's right. And it's so interesting you say that about, I think there's been so much holding in, and there are so many illnesses being experienced that show that are an expression of things being held in. And what that does, when you hold something in emotionally, is spiritually, it just hold it in, how it does to your physical body. Oh my, as you said, it comes out, I mean, sideways, like in all kinds of physical experiences. I'm really glad that you mentioned that.
Yeah, and I am fully committed to the idea of feeling everything, whether you like it or not. One of the things that I suggest, and this will be part of the article that I wrote. I think it'll come out in October, but don't hold me to it. For Science of Mind magazine. But one of the things I always suggest is, get yourself a practitioner or a best friend that you can trust with your life, death, growth, all that stuff. And have that be the one person that you have that you can go and say all of your nasty, gross thoughts that you don't want to hold inside. Because for all of us, we have shadow parts we don't like in ourselves. What we don't like in others, we don't like in ourselves, is what we don't like in ourselves. So when we are being triggered, now this is the not fun part about this whole process. When we are being triggered, we're being triggered because it's what we need to heal. It's what we need to either accept as ourselves or transition away from ourselves. So it's a wake-up call. It's is this present in me? In what ways? Because most likely it's not present in a way that's overt. Otherwise you would know it. And it's probably not present in a way that is affecting your life in obvious ways. So I have a really good example of this. When I was taking the ethics class for ministerial schools, when I was taking that class, one of the things they were talking about is microaggressions and your subconscious biases and all of those things. And I realized the way I was raised on 50s and 60s culture in the 1980s. So it's kind of a clashing of cultures because there was a lot of difference in those.
Yes.
I didn't realize how many unconscious biases I had towards women until I went through that. Because they're in the back of my mind that were placed in there by my mom, who has very specific rules of what a woman does and is from the 50s. And so I didn't realize how that was affecting my dating, my way I show up in the world, how I see myself, all of those things. So that's why, as little fun it is to do like shadow work, that's why it's so important, is because if you don't know it's there, you can't address it. And that's why we get triggered, so we can figure out it's there.
Oh, good point. Even it's that awareness about ourselves. Sometimes we think we know ourselves, but there are so many facets to us. And as you said, if we're triggered by certain things, that's a clue. And it's okay, because we are unfolding. We're always unfolding, always evolving. And what an opportunity this is when you address and heal those things. And then when you feel the peace of that, oh my goodness, the difference that makes. And then how you show up in the world.
There have been so many times I call my friend, who's actually my practitioner too, I call her a sister from another mister. There's so many times I call her and she calls me and we're like, okay, we're going to vent the stuff that's in our head that we don't want anybody to know that we think. And we do it and we let it all out and then it's gone. Because it just wants to see the light of day. That's all.
Oh,
and
there we go.
It's safe. I know she knows I'm not going to do the things I say. I don't really believe those things. I know she's not going to do the things she's saying and she doesn't believe them. But there's frustrations and there's anger and there's a beauty in a support system that will allow you to do that. And, that's why we have practitioners. That's why because that's a confidentiality relationship. You should feel comfortable enough with your practitioner to be like, I am having these thoughts and they're crazy and I don't like them. Help me. And then sometimes we just are outward processors and we just need to get those words out so we can get to what the actual answer is. So many times when I talk to my friend and she talks to me, we have their aha moments in the middle of that. We'll be like, oh, and I'm raging and I'm screaming and oh, wait, that's what's really bothering me. Okay, thanks.
See that awareness. When you're doing that awareness, like, oh, no, I love that. And I wanted to pause and share. Thank you, Wayne, joining us from Calgary. And I love how he shared that he from God loves me. We are always love. Yeah. God, spirit, divine. We are, no matter what.
It's our natural state of being. We just forget that.
That's right. And so it's okay for what you're talking about, because I think for so long we have learned that it's to hold that in and not to express those things. And when you express them in a way that's supportive, and rather than have it, as you said, coming out in other ways, or affecting us in frustration or feeling down or feeling a sadness or a heaviness, all those things, that's not inner peace.
Well, and one of the, I think, best pieces of advice I was given was a while ago by Reverend Cynthia James. And she said that if everything is God, then your anger is God.
Oh,
So it's not wrong to be mad. It's not wrong to be angry. It's not wrong to feel anything. It's all God. And I think we get so tied up in the God is in the animate objects, we forget it's in the inanimate. It's God. Your anger is fine. It's what you do with it.
Yes. Oh. And bringing it back around to how we started this, it is part of nurturing peace.
Yeah.
It's important to recognize it and to allow the release of it in, I'll say, productive ways, whether it is going to a concert, a heavy metal concert, right? And or talking to a close friend or a practitioner. And we're talking about licensed prayer practitioners that we have in Centers for Spiritual Living. And they are, each of us are practitioners as well as ministers. And so, but in Centers for Spiritual Living, there are licensed practitioners that go through training that have this understanding of the nature of spirit that we are, and to align with that, and to guide us, and to do affirmative prayer, spiritual mind treatment to heal that. Yeah. So I'm so glad that you mentioned that. This is a really great discussion, and we're going to take a break here for just 2 minutes, and we'll come back to this. We have lots more, but I'm so grateful for your wisdom and your openness and your your sharing. And this is real life. It reminds me, one of my favorite books is Living the Science of Mind by Ernest Holmes. We're living this philosophy by doing this. It isn't holding back. It is living it, right? It is. And so we'll just take just a quick moment here. I'm going to share just a couple while we take a 2-minute break here, share a couple highlights of some other things that we have here on the New Thought Media Network. So we'll be back in the studio in just 2 minutes. So thank you again, Lauren. We'll see you in a couple minutes.
New Thought Media Network proudly presents the Global Heart of Peace's Peace Party. Celebrate the many paths to peace. Explore an exciting life of peace. Embody joyous peace. Come to our weekly Peace Party, Mondays at 5 p.m. Mountain Time. Only on New Thought Media Network. www.ntmedia.org.
What if you had a place to return to every day for peace, clarity, and connection? The New Thought Ministry of Prayer offers live morning and evening prayer, along with a growing library you can access anytime. This is a space for reflection, renewal, and real spiritual practice, rooted in the understanding that something greater is already alive within you. You are welcome here. Join us live or watch anytime. The New Thought Ministry of Prayer, part of the New Thought Media Network. Come, take a moment for what matters most.
And there we go to other offerings through the New Thought Media Network. And we had mentioned the Peace Party before, and there is already a playlist of episodes, and that's a 15-minute segment, as Reverend Lauren had said earlier, that talks about specific practices, if you will, that remind us of the many facets of peace and the ways to nurture it and be it in the world. Practical, I like to call it practical peace, and remind us of the joy of peace and the active nature of peace, and certainly remembering that quiet and peace and meditation are practices that nurture it. There are many others as well, and then the practice of prayer, affirmative prayer. And so there's an opportunity morning and evening to be part of that, to guide us and help us, and having that be a regular part of our life. And one more thing to show you, if you're inspired by what you hear, certainly welcome your love and support, your giving, and that can be done here at givebutter.com/peace dialogues. And we are part of the New Thought Media Network, and reaching out to the world, to humanity, and you. So thank you for being here and for watching, and your love and support. And so we're back here with Reverend Lauren Martin. Oh my goodness, we talked about life experiences, and that awareness, and that allowing, that making room for peace in ourselves, and the importance of starting with ourselves, and to see it, and that nurtures a new understanding of seeing it in others, and recognizing that everybody is on their own path, and it's in there in everyone, but not everybody knows that about themselves. But we can know that about ourselves and recognize that about others. And Lauren, I was going to have to share for a moment here a little bit more about the activities that you do with Centers for Spiritual Living, with the spiritual circles, and that we'll talk a little bit more about the Global Heart of Peace. And I'm going to show a link here so people can learn more about that. But I'll turn that over to you so you can talk more about that, because these are more tools and resources.
Yes.
I want you to know there's a lot of resources out there for you, practical.
Well, the spiritual living circles are an amazing set of people who have, some have weekly, some have bi-weekly, some have monthly meetings. They all are run differently. But it is something that has really shifted post-COVID, because before it was always you have to meet with the people who are in your own community. Now, a lot of people are doing this virtually. So if you feel like you don't have a community, then we have one for you. And that's what's really amazing about these circles is we're making them now. They're expanding internationally, so we are working very hard to ensure that we are culturally aware of the differences that are needed in different areas, and that we can make sure we have translations. We have our um, guides right now are currently being translated into Spanish every month, so that does help too. Um, but with those circles, it is extremely easy because you are given a packet basically that you can download every month for one per week. So it's 4 articles that are covered in the Science of Mind magazine, or 3 articles and a spiritual practice. So this is also another way to not only deepen through the questions that are asked in the discussion guides, but also to do spiritual practices that are led by one of our practitioners. So that does help sometimes to have different ways of looking at spiritual practices. And
Mhm.
so each of these guides come also with a PowerPoint, so that we can go through and have discussion questions and really get to know who you are more, because I'm a firm believer that if we know who we are and we're in alignment with who we are, that's a great way to peace, and keeping us out of victimhood and out of survivor mode. So those are amazing opportunities. You can find the circles on the CSL webpage if you want to go there and look those up. And then we have the Global Heart of Peace. Now, in Global Heart of Peace, I have a lot of people who are doing some amazing things for us in Global Heart of Peace. We used to do a lot of meditations and different events with different kinds of um, recorded information, which, by the way, our meditations are still available. I think we have 34 or 6 meditations available on YouTube that you can go to at any time and enjoy. And they range in any time from 5 to 15 minutes. So they're not hugely long, and they're really good starters for people who don't like to meditate, because you just have to sit there for a few minutes and listen instead of trying to be on your own. So it's a good starter for you. Um, then we also have some amazing things with the Global Heart of Peace. We have our peace ambassadors, and that is a way for peace to be celebrated throughout the world. The idea is that we want to see if we can get peace in a peace ambassador in every area of the world and in every center, so that they can communicate with the Global Heart of Peace and keep up to date on all the things that we are doing. We have our Think Peace campaign, which it was created to help get messages out to other people. So there are links that you can click on to print up our cute little logo guy, who is the Earth doing with a peace sign, and he's very cute. Um, but that was designed by Kathy Ballard, and she has a way that you can get to seeing every single one of them and download them and make postcards or whatever you want to share with people. She hands out postcards and um, business cards everywhere she goes with that. And then we also do all of our celebrations. So we've recently done a class on labyrinths and how to bring the energy of the labyrinth into every day to help you find peace. We've done work with, this year we did, for the beginning of the year, we launched Pathways to Personal Peace, and that was looking at 4 different ways to find peace through empathy, through seeing the God in others, through forgiveness, all of that kind of work. And then um, we also have the Season of Peace and Nonviolence, which has a whole set of memes that we share every year. And also, there's a course that you can download from the CSL webpage on that. And then also on that web page, we've created these amazing coloring book pages, which are ranging from very, very simple. So like pre-K to kindergarten, first, second grade can color the very, very simple ones, up to really intricate, detailed ones for adults. There's some that are teen themed. So if you have people in your life who like to color, who want some stress relief, you can go and print those for free and share those. And they all have the message of think peace on them,
Mm-hmm.
so that it can help you kind of have a meditative process of coloring. And there's this really cool thing that I have been seeing going around Facebook that I want to try, where you get together with a couple of your friends and you cut up the coloring book page so that each person colors one section and
Ooh.
bring it together. It's all different colors because you don't know what it's going to look
Oh.
like together until you bring it in.
Mhm.
You can take
Mhm.
one of your pages and have like a girls' night or a, like your teens are having a party, have them do that. Like, it's a good way to get with your friends and kind of have a fun thing to do. Like, get a charcuterie board and just sit there and color and
Mhm.
dress
Mhm.
as a group. And then seeing how everybody is creative and thinks differently. I saw
Mhm.
another
I
one where
love
they
that.
limited people to, they took like, it was like 4 people or 3 people, and they took like 12 colored pencils and they divided it between the three. They had to like take the color out of a hat and pick out what color they were going to be stuck with. And so
Mhm.
color with 4 colors. And so then it made
Oh.
a whole different idea. So there's a lot of
Mhm.
you can do
Mhm.
with the tools
Mhm.
that we have available for you. So
I
definitely,
love that.
and we have a newsletter, and I don't think a lot of
Yes.
people know that. Um, our newsletter every month has a
Mm.
new article written by somebody in Global Heart of Peace. It has our peace pockets, which are these lovely little blurbs. Like for the last year, we have been doing blurbs that were provided by us to us by the practitioners and ministers at Las Vegas Center for Spiritual Living,
Mhm.
and they're amazing. And so you will have this nice little quote that you can go and take as a mantra. You can
Mhm.
share it with friends and start a discussion. The whole idea is we're trying to get things that will make people want to talk about peace.
Mhm.
So the memes that we do for the season of peace and nonviolence, I
Oh,
set them up
yes.
with questions. So there's a
Mhm.
pretty little picture and then a question about the day's topic so that you can go in there and explore and ask people those questions throughout the day and start conversations. We have too many people tell us when you want to start a conversation with them, just Google it or go look it up. But these are ways that they're not Googleable. I mean, yeah, you
Mhm.
probably could put it in Chat GPT, but do you
Mhm.
really get that answer? This is a way to get us back to humanity
That's
and
right.
back to interacting with each other and
Mhm.
out of the toxicity that just is doom scrolling, which I am a huge doom scroller, so I can say that.
Mhm. Oh, this is so good.
Love it.
It's a very good point. It's that interaction and that, oh no, and to get us back to interacting with each other. Because peace is one of those things here. Yes, I want world peace. Well, oh, but it's the feeling that what I'm looking forward to some people, getting together these, some world leaders, and well, we can't. That's not something. I mean, we look forward to that, but right here, right now, each day, and these conversations, it nurtures the energy. It opens us up and think, oh, peace. Oh, we really are growing the garden of peace
Mhm.
by doing these things. And I love these ideas that you're talking about. Again, ways to make it natural to talk about it and to nurture it with these activities and, with community and interacting with people. And different. I love how you brought in the teens. Oh my goodness. Um, because there is an interest among teens. There is. I have a daughter 17 years old. Oh my goodness. But they're to teach them how to talk about it and think about it
Mhm.
through these activities that you're talking about. And it can make it natural and doable. So I'm sorry you inspired me to kind of bring it all together with that. And I know you've got more to share. These are great ideas.
Yeah, and the thing is, a lot of us feel overwhelmed when we talk about peace,
Mm-hmm.
and we feel like we can't really do a whole lot because it's so big. But one of the things that I want to encourage everybody to do is to sit down and say, what is mine to do?
Mm-hmm.
Because yours to do might just be fixing the stuff in your head or releasing some of the stuff that doesn't work for you in your head, because you're not broken. There's nothing that needs to be fixed, but like changing your way you're thinking. That might be all that it is to do. It might be mending the fence with somebody who needs the fence mended. It might be smiling more at strangers. It doesn't matter if you feel it is small. If it lights you up and it feels like it's part of what is yours to do while you are here, do it, because it's going to
Yes.
bring you peace and it
Mm-hmm.
ripples. So when you are peace, when you are at peace and you feel calm, it is a lot harder for other people in your life to escalate.
Mm-hmm.
You are creating a space for that person to be at peace. And one of the things that that I'm reminded of is the idea that is given to people when they want to attract love into their life or a new partner is to clear out a drawer in their house, in their bedroom, clear out a section of their closet so that you're making physical room. This is what you're doing when you process your emotions, when you make space, when you don't let things trigger you, when you are opening, you are making that space inside of you for peace to come in, because it's very hard for two things can't exist in the same place at the same time.
Oh.
Like it's a law of physics. And
Mm-hmm.
people think that that's only a physical law, but you can't have hateful thoughts and loving thoughts at the same time. They won't
Mm-hmm.
overlap, and one won't come
Mm-hmm.
in and just be like, okay, go. It's not that simple for a lot of us. If it was
Mm-hmm.
that simple, we'd have a button and we would just push it and we'd all be happy.
Mm-hmm.
But for a lot of us, it's like trying to jump the Grand Canyon on a unicycle.
There you go. There you go. Mm-hmm. And these are all things that can help. There are. That's so good. Jump the Grand Canyon on a unicycle and it can feel so overwhelming. But look at all these things that you talked about, that you shared, and that example of two things can exist in the same play at the same time. The example of the drawer, the example of the closet, and moving that out. Oh, I love that. That's a very good example. I'm thinking of. I mean, there are, certainly songs about this. Wonderful New Thought songs. That. Peace is every step. I am a prayer for peace. And oh my goodness, many New Thought artists. I mean, Karen Drucker, Daniel Nemeth, Gary Lynn Floyd. There are some. Gary Lynn Floyd. I just heard this song the other day. Make me an instrument. In relation to the what St. Francis had said. He has a beautiful song. Make me an instrument. Or we can think, I am an instrument. I am an instrument. Just like, what is mine to do? To be an instrument, and it's smiling, that encouragement. It doesn't have to be what we might think of as huge, but it all makes a difference. I have lots of flowers. I have a lot of large flower garden at home. And I love this time of year and I have a variety. It's just a wonderful, wonderful mix of flowers. But I love to notice how each flower, the uniqueness of it, stands out and brightens the garden in its own way. I mean, here and there I have just single lilies, and then I have all kinds of others, but each one makes a difference in being the beauty that it is. And there's a quote on the other side of my office that it's a beautiful from Ecclesiastic. Perhaps this is the moment, basics for what, which I am created to, to be here. Perhaps this is the moment. Yes, this is the moment. This is the moment for me to be, whatever age you are, whatever has happened, wherever you have been, this is the moment for for you to be and to shine. And so we can circle back around. And I mean, you've talked about so many things. Was there anything you want to emphasize or go back to, Reverend Lauren, or maybe something else came to mind as we've been talking here?
I think the most important thing really is to just allow yourself grace while you're working on peace.
Mm-hmm.
Because for a lot of us, it is a everyday thing. It is not a I wake up and I'm just going to choose peace today. Because there are people in the world who are choosing violence the same day. So, and there are systems in the world that are choosing to irritate us. Like my work right now is making me extremely angry every day. And that is on me. It is something where I'm frustrated, I'm angry, and I'm allowing it to bother me. But I also know that if I let myself just feel that and let it just go, then I can move on with the rest of the day. Because if I sit there and seething in that anger
Oh,
and in that pain, because I work at a very large company that has a lot of systems that compete with each other, and it's not always cut and dry how to do something, and people don't always know what they're doing and make things, so it's like you got to remember, we're all humans, and we all make mistakes, and we're all flawed in beautiful, perfect ways. And
Mm-hmm.
so just remember that, and just remember that, everyone is doing the best they can with what they have, even if we don't see it, even if we don't like it. And also, please, I did not say this, and I really want everybody to hear this. It's very important. I am in no way condoning anybody treating anybody badly. I am in no way condoning anybody hurting another person. If somebody hurts you, if somebody makes you uncomfortable, if somebody is treating you poorly, walk away. Loving can be done from afar. Loving does not have to including the person in your life. And when we are saying that we love everyone, we are seeing the God in them and remembering it for them. But that doesn't mean that they have to be part of our lives anymore. It does not mean that we have to forgive them in a way of forgetting what they did and let them keep doing what they did. If somebody is showing you who they are, believe them and walk away if you have to. But also, you can love that person so that you don't hold that hate in. It's not
Mm-hmm.
about loving them so they feel better, so that they are supported. It's not about that. It's loving them so that you're not weighed down by them.
Oh, very good. That's so good and so wise. And it as we're talking about the different perspectives of peace, we're talking about the different perspective of love. And that's so wise. It is that knowing that they are an expression of they are, even when they don't know it, but I can know that. I can know that, and I can know that from afar, if you will, and how that nurtures the peace within me to know that. And that's so powerful. And again, that it's okay of all these things that we go through. And you're talking about real life here, your job, and things do happen where we feel these the frustration, and it's that recognition, that allowing, and that movement out, not pushing it down, that movement for, okay, I recognize this, and moving forward. Oh, that's so good. Oh, that's so good. Oh, Reverend Lauren, this has been such a wonderful dialogue here today. We'll have to do this again. And I'm going, I just saw, I'm going to share this. Be peaceful.
Mm-hmm.
You've reminded me of this. That's something that I hear. Be peaceful. Oh, that says peaceful. It's supposed to say peaceful. Well, you understand. Peaceful.
Yes.
In other words, allow ourselves to be full of peace. Because if we're full of frustration or anger, we aren't. The peace is there, but we're allowing that to fill us and move through us. Well, thank you. And thank you to all who watch. And oh my goodness, we have some. And Wayne from Calgary has enjoyed this. Thank you. And we're so grateful for you watching, and for any who join us and watch us at another time. Thank you. And we invite you to come back again and to practice, open up, listen, practice to what has been shared here today. And so until the next time, peace, blessings, namaste. We'll see you again.
Thanks for being here and taking this time to practice peace with us. Join us again next week, Thursdays at 9 a.m. on the New Thought Media Network for another live session. And you can always catch past episodes on our YouTube channel. Until then, sending you waves of peace and blessings. We'll see you next time.